was borne by our forebears to bring about this Fourth Republic. You also know us as a party of individual liberty. We believe that the individual is sacred, that they are endowed with certain rights by God that should not be taken away from them. And so therefore, as a political party, we believe in protecting the rights of individuals. You also know us as a party of private enterprise. We believe in creating opportunity for private enterprise to flourish. That for us is the mechanism to drive growth in Ghana. If growth must occur, the private sector must grow. And you've heard, we talk about many policies that are designed to drive economic growth from the supply side. You remember, which now today has been cancelled, the One District, One Factory initiative that created in excess of $160,000 employments for Ghanaians. Instead of continuing that pro-growth, pro-industrialization initiative, the NDC, led by His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, cancelled it. And in place of it, some very confusing proposal called 24-hour plus program, which we don't know when they are going to begin it, when they are going to end it, after they have told us and promised us that that was going to be a quick fix to the economic problems and the job problems that were faced in this country. The One District, One Factory is Ghana's path to industrialization. And we hope that the NDC, the president, will reconsider. But if not, we're appealing to Ghanaians to bring us back so that we can advance that good policy for the betterment of our country. Also know us as the party of limited government. Yes, I mentioned that clearly because in our recent past there were some concerns about how big our government got. But that's our mainstay, our value proposition is a limited government. This value, this theme that we are committing ourselves to, trying to prioritize our value and reconnect with our roots, would get us there. It's an indication to Ghanaians that we hear you, that all the feedback that we're given when we're government, we hear you. On that matter of limited government, we hear you. We also are known as a party that promotes and defends the traditional and cultural values of our country, including the rather obnoxious LGBTQ phenomenon that the NDC, in a classic settings way, told us that they were opposed to, but now in government cannot speak to it. And you Ghanaians and all of us are witnesses to their trickery, to the deceit, to the fake promises they made, to the pretense that they are the champions of our values, our traditional cultural values, but as it turned out in government, they are promoting it, staying away from engaging in any conversation that comes to the fore and causes Ghana to speak clearly its own position about what it thinks as a country, as a people, about LGBTQ. They cannot be in the room to say anything about it. But I tell you that we are the Conservative Party. We are the party that believes that as a people, our growth and development must happen in tandem with the growth and evolution, constructive evolution of our cultural and traditional values. So we are the party that can do that for our country. Also, finally, and you know a lot more of our values, but just to mention a few of them, you also know us as a party that believes in democracy and good governance. These are values that we are going to be led by. These are the values that you have known us to be associated with, that you have associated with us. And these are the values that coming from conference, we are going to be prioritizing and leading our rebuilding back to the hearts of our people. The theme, ladies and gentlemen, as I indicated, invites us to reconnect with our... It is in response. This theme is in response to what I indicated earlier, the feedback of our fellow countrymen who for some reason became disenchanted, felt left behind, or felt that we were quickly becoming almost the same as the scary opposition opposition then, National Democratic Congress, felt that there wasn't any difference. People could not see much difference between us and the NDC. But we want to take the challenge, having taken this feedback, to reconnect more aggressively with our values which endeared our party to all Ghanaians. We will take necessary steps to reconnect to our building, to reconnect ourselves to rebuilding these trusts that have been lost, and ensure that these timeless values that drove our forebears to rise above self and embrace the national cause of service and development of our dear country. Ladies and gentlemen, finally, a very important call by this team to the leadership and rank and file of our party and all supporters of our party is for us to unite and collaborate to achieve the goals and objectives of the new Patriotic Party as outlined in Article 2 of our Constitution. Together, as the theme suggests, we must unite. In order to work together, we must unite. And that simply is the way to go. And I think that the American car maker, Henry Ford, puts this in a very, very simple way, in a practical way, when he says, if everybody moves forward together, success takes care of itself. Ladies and gentlemen, in closing, I'd like to submit to you that a new Patriotic Party is committed to moving forward together as one united force dedicated to promoting, advocating for, and defending the interests of our dear country. And this is the energy, this is a commitment with which we hope to emerge from the conference on Saturday. Thank you very much. Within a car. But that kind of brofo. And it's a rebuilding together with our values. Our values, you know, going to make you values if you all the principles at all, going to make the ethics at all. It's a papangwa. Now the toa, a boy. It's a NPP. Say, ye boo your con a page. And an animal ye. Paya, a South Buchato, and Mark Ghana. Accept NPP preoccupy. Now, what can NPP a Ghana for them say a party no? What can NPP a Ghana for if it is a party way and a bit to me about Ghana? They call about making sure that some values way the enemy kind, some values way and the enemy duma, some values way and they making sure that I can't in our party and the enemy anymore. Now a boy, I'm a duma and as a party in 2 years, you know, I quit anymore. No, I saw Biani, no Bias, I can say yes. NPP, yes, party D. Now, you know, about this so. Now, boy, I'm a Ghana and also about 10 times so. Eti, any so I didn't say, you may be conference, you know. Now, you know, carbon because the TN say as a film, no. See, to me, and you Juma. Ya carbon say, ye Juma, Abra, unity, anyhow. Want to be unity without togetherness. Enti achichiri ya bo mu prekope. They need that so say ye be wie conference no. Nyina ate ho asesa na edwuma ye ba beye aboa ma party no from say ye ba beto presidential election, ye ba beto parliamentary election, to national, regional, constituency election. Ako aye party no reorganization in Yakubi, sa abetu sa na morning na wo asumdwe mu ebetu sa na morning na wo kabo mu kese mu na aboa ama party no esi ni na so enti ye frame one pe ya na ni nyina ne se ye beda 2025 National Annual Delegate Conference ye theme no akire mu na yasaye akra mu se memenda no ye hwebe num se mu nyina ba be kan ho na yetumi de conference no ahihye so said yes the mass Constitution Article 10 one as a party no afibia no ye National Annual Delegate Conference ye nhemu kese a eno ye party ni nyina tumi kese a eboa ma ye de etritre party no emusem memendai ye ba bihia na eduma kese pa na da yelimu na nyoma e ba bedi hu abobo ana nkomo oha memendai constitutional I'm saying from 2019 amendments proposals we buy and can say to me yemu eduma kumasi ye to me anye na conference able to homa National Council say emfama ekubi na omo ehwemu na emboni na no emfanto omo ye say adwuma no enti eda no a ye papa Professor Aaron Michael Kwe ede the report by efa 2024 election no ye take committee bi enti ye this amendment na eka ho na amendment nso so a efi the report no nso so eka ho na ye san bi kwan to ma party for any amendment ede a mo pe say emfanye amendment emwa my constitution ye ko nimu no mode abisu ba enti memenda ye ba be ye sa amendment in adwuma na ohwa adwuma kese pa na da yelimu na sa conference we so conference a yelimu pa kire se ye wie 2024 election no and we ededi kan na party ni nyina ye ka bo mu adwene party no eda ache ho na ye di sa adwuma kese we enti yedi so say committee communication and media subcommittee edwin ho say ye be ya mana ye sonkunti no ene ye be fremo na utaya eda conference lady so a ye friend team no be da ne di actually nyina kane no ye oba conference anu abehu but ene no say dia conference ne se sonko asifa na anamo a ye tu akoye ni mu nti no ye say ene ye be fremo the other team no other ne dia kire mo sonko eno nti edi kan brofumu no ye kan ye say team no obi a wetu me challenge obi a wetu be I translated the paper akotu mu no we de ne ka but that kind of National Delegate Conference has been duly unveiled and it tells us we're building together with our values. This is a very, very important and a very poignant theme, which I believe, ladies and gentlemen of the media, will guide the new Patriotic Party in this long road of rebuilding, focused on our values and principles. There is nothing we can do or achieve without adherence to principles and values. And the new Patriotic Party has been that party of choice for Ghana that is loved only because of our values and our history. On this occasion, we are holding ourselves to reconnect to our roots, to go back to the standards that Ghanaians are used to. And when you mention the new Patriotic Party, there's that pride, there's that understanding of who we are. We want to exemplify those values and do so very aggressively to reconnect with our roots and with the support of our fellow Ghanaians, knowing that that is the way for Ghana to be able to achieve the development and growth that we seek for our country. And most of you know these values. When you hear the name New Patriotic Party, you know what it is. You know that we are the party of rule of law, That is what motivated our forebears, that in the face of great adversity, faced with the tyranny of the PNDC, fought, they stood, resisted, and eventually the Fourth Republic was born. And today, or perhaps I should say just last week, you saw the face of tyranny as it was back in the day, and that was just a surface scratch we saw in Ablekuma. There were worse days, but our forebears stood